question. Mm, okay, Sayad Nuri. Okay. Okay, Sayad, I am sorry, but this seems to be yes, definitely. I'm going to send my email in the chat. That's my email. And I already asked because I'm also getting a feeling that I'm not, for some reason, communicating with everyone because I don't seem to have all of your emails. So I tried to clarify it with administration, and I promise that I will, I'll sort this out. Okay, somehow, one way or another, somehow I'll get like a consolidated list of all the students, but this is going to get resolved, okay? Because it's not very comfortable for me as well, okay? Okay. So guys, what did you, first of all, before you read the article, what did you think? Did you know about this, what happened? So your thoughts, basically, okay?
European people are very innocent.
Okay, well, European people are very innocent. What do you mean by that? Okay, we're now more divided than we have ever been. Mm-hmm. Sure. Why do you feel that we're more divided than we have ever been? Okay, guys, let's just before we continue, let's just get one thing clear, okay? I want to be clear with all of you that because yes, it is definitely, I agree with you, but because we can view the situations and the happenings in the world from many, many, many different angles and many different perspectives, okay? So although I always, like my motto, and I always try to um, look at things from a very unbiased, clear perspective, open mind, I still look at things that are happening from fair and from the position of love, okay? From the position of kindness and from position of fairness, okay? And I know that and in this particular case, I want to before we get into this discussion, I just want to have like this agreement between us that from what perspective are we going to be looking at this? Yeah, because killing is wrong. Do you all agree with me? Taking an innocent life is always wrong. Do we agree?
Yeah.
Or is there anybody in this room, in this whatever room I'm going to call it, who thinks otherwise, because it's fine to think otherwise. Okay. Um, okay, so I'm going to assume that we're all on the same page with the fact that um, uh, 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 innocent taking a life of an innocent person is wrong. It shouldn't happen. Yeah, under no circumstances. Um, okay. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Tell me otherwise. Maybe there is a circumstance whether it's okay to take an innocent life.
If he's a raper,
Well, if he is a raper, then he's not innocent, is he?
he's not innocent actually. Yes,
Yeah,
He did something wrong actually.
exactly. So we're doing it for
So
a reason. We're killing the raper because he committed a crime, because maybe he raped us, okay? And we're in a shock and we just want to kill the bastard,
But,
so we do it, yeah?
but why
That
killing him? But why killing him? That's the point. Like we can do a million stuff.
Listen, yes,
Like
we can do a million things, Abdal, but what I want to convey right now is that killings occur, okay? And there are a lot of cases where a person may kill because he's being under shock, or because if a parent sees that something is terrible is being done to their kid, most probably they're gonna commit a crime. Okay.
yes, I understand. Yeah.
Yeah, so let's not get into that right now. We don't want to get into that. Okay. Maybe we'll
Katie,
do that some other class. Yes, please, Vishal.
so to answer your question,
Mhm.
I definitely agree that killing is wrong and taking innocents' lives is wrong. But
Mhm.
then at the same time, I could also potentially think about another situation where some people will either agree or disagree when it comes to abortions.
Oh, that's a different topic. Okay,
Yeah,
but Vishal, that's what I want to draw a very, very thin line right here. We are talking about what happened in France. Okay, and because we're talking about what happened in Paris, in France, with the teacher, um, the discussion is going to be motivated by kindness. Okay, that's what I wanted to make sure that we all understand. Okay.
Doctor, I have a
Yes.
question.
Yes, go ahead.
Um, like you have to define innocence in this
Oh, yes.
situation.
Mhm.
Listen, I can give you like certain situations. For example, someone being mentally ill and goes and commits a crime or kills someone. Would you call
Yes.
him innocent because he's mentally ill, but he actually killed someone? So is he innocent or is he not? It depends. It really depends. I wouldn't
It
say
really depends. It really depends whether he's innocent in the eye of a law, because there's law, Vasim, and then there's morale, okay? There's ethics, and there's human
yes.
code of conduct, and there's personal beliefs of what is right and what is wrong, okay? So but when we define innocence, how do we define it? Do we define it in terms of law? Okay, in terms of a rule of law, then probably if he's crazy and and he's mentally ill and he went out and he killed somebody, then he would be guilty in the face of law. Okay, he would have committed a crime, and there would be no law in universe that would justify his behavior. They would probably make his sentence less harsh, but he would still be guilty or she would still be
But
guilty.
but
Okay? How?
in a lot of situations, law is very biased too. It's unjust.
Of course, because it's the law. Because we don't have universal code of right and wrong, because right and wrong is so subjective, okay? It is so unbelievably difficult to unify, yeah? Um, and that's why we have things like, killing is wrong and not killing is right, yeah? But then, what kind of killing? You have so many different types of crimes that are made. Different people will say this is not crime. This is not a crime. I didn't commit a crime. They will argue their way out of it. So, yeah. Basim, but I think that this is a discussion for another time. I don't want to dive so deeply into this. I just want to make sure that when we're talking about what happened in France, we're all on the same page here, okay? Because this is important. Not on the same page as in what we think about it, but on the same page in terms of that we think that killing somebody, especially beheading somebody in the middle of the street, in the middle of the day, is just wrong on so many levels, okay? Okay. Religion is strengthened when challenged, not weakened. In my opinion, might seem a bit pessimistic, but I don't see a light at the end of the tunnel. This will breed hatred. Okay, Sayad, very, very good thoughts. Anyone else who, what are your thoughts? I mean, obviously everybody's following the news, although the news have been pretty much all about US elections. However, there have been some happenings in going around. I don't know if you're aware, but about 3 days or 4 days after this incident happened in Paris, do you know what happened in Nice? Does anyone know?
Yeah, was this when someone got stabbed and their throat got cut outside the church?
Yes,
in a
three
church?
people died, were killed by a knife wounds.
And also
Sure.
two women who were wearing veils, they got stabbed as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think that was like under the Eiffel Tower. Apparently, they were saying.
Yeah.
They were Muslim women.
No. Under the Eiffel Tower, they found bombs. Okay, they found a bag with bombs, but the killings they happened in Nice. And then a few days ago, there was this mass shooting in Vienna, where also a couple of people died and a lot of people were injured. And
yeah, but before the accident in Nice, there's two Muslim women that were stabbed. And after that, there's a Jordanian citizen who was speaking Arabic and he got beaten up for only speaking Arabic. That was before the Nice accident.
Yeah.
And it happened under the Eiffel Tower.
Under the Eiffel Tower, really? By who? Who
Yes.
did it? You see, that wasn't in the news. Interesting.
So a
You won't
couple
hear it
of
on the
French people
mainstream.
did it, and they started screaming after the stabbing, Muslim trash or something like this in France. I don't recall what they called it.
Yeah, it was like basically saying some sort of like go back to your country. I think they're saying it in French to two Algerian women. So, yeah.
And they stabbed them, the Algerian women?
Yeah, so they were saying like these two Algerian women.
Did they die?
I think no, I'm not sure.
Two of them died and two ran away. There were four.
Oh, was it four? Oh, I thought I only heard those two.
No, I think there were four and two got stabbed and two
Yeah,
ran away.
Right.
And by the way, there was children around. They were with their
Yeah.
kids.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's just agree that the thing that happened in Paris with the teacher, and how do you guys know how France reacted, the government, how the reaction of the government, what happened?
Yeah.
They just want to have stricter laws and have more
Mhm.
secularism and separation between the
Mhm.
state and religion, and then that everyone needs to have an option of having freedom of speech. But then, of
Mhm.
course, they use freedom of speech as an excuse to hide behind what they say in a way, because you can have freedom of speech to talk about, let's say, against Islam, but then
Mhm.
if someone was then talking about another religion, then you come under as, for example, anti-Semitic.
Mhm.
Another
And the way
point.
that it's going is they'll use Islam as a hurdle to conquer going against religion, the state against religion.
Mhm.
Islam is just like an example, but once Islam is taken over, then it'll just literally be one religion after another, but people don't realize that.
Okay, because I assume that there are a bunch of Muslims around amongst you, right? Am I right?
Yeah.
Just how religious are you guys? Are you
I don't know. It
religious?
depends. How do you mean if religious?
Are you
If do I?
religious? Like for example, I am Christian, okay,
Okay.
and but I don't consider myself as a religious
Like,
person, okay?
do you mean practicing?
Yes, I mean, how religious are you? Do you go
If you want a
to
scale like from 1 to 10, I would give
do you
myself 7.
pray? Do you pray? Do you go to mosque? Do you adhere to the to Bayrams and to fasting?
Yeah.
Do you follow the rules that the Holy Book is telling you? I mean, how to that extent, okay? How
Yeah,
religious are you?
and I am religious. Yeah.
You are religious, okay.
I would
Mm-hmm.
consider myself religious then.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing for me
Mm-hmm.
too.
Okay. Anyone else, guys?
Alhamdulillah, yeah.
Yeah, I would consider myself religious as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, also, I would consider myself as being religious.
Mm-hmm.
Can I just say, even though I'm religious, I don't agree
Huh?
with what happened at all. Like
No. Look,
0%.
That's Adam. That's the thing that I that was going
We're
to be
not
my
saying that.
Yeah.
next question, because I assume I think that what's happening is just absolutely
Insane.
tragic, okay? Because this mask that they've put on Islam is absolutely tragic, because it's I am not a religious person, but I do respect all the religions of the world. And in my opinion, to be able to speak about religion, you need to at least have read their books, okay? Um,
100%.
I haven't read all of them, but I am familiar. As I said before, I have read Quran. And I'm familiar with a bunch of other religions worldwide. But what I'm trying to say, I respect religion. I get it. I can understand why it's there, and I do respect people who um, are religious and who practice religion. And Islam is one of the most ancient religions in the world. And it was never intended to be a religion of terrorism, a religion that brings fear into people's hearts, a religion that's about killing and bombing of innocent people. It was never intended like that, okay? I don't know. But we do have a lot of incidents. If we look at the history, we do have a lot of incidents where religion was used. I'm not talking about Islam in this case. To to manipulate, it was bloody a lot of times. So
I would say all
Sorry.
religions have the same goal, which is to have, well, as in peace, but obviously trying to achieve world domination in different ways. There's bound to be blood, and that has been shown in all religious history.
But the question that I want to ask you is that it's like the thing that happened in Paris. There was like a chain reaction. The chain reaction of events that has followed. Okay, and probably there's going to be more. I know that Britain is on high alert of how is it called with you guys? High accident alert, or what is it called? Like high attack alert, terror alert. Yeah, exactly. So it's been moved to high, the terror alert. So probably Britain is expecting something to happen, obviously, over there.
I just add something.
Yes.
So basically, even in French history as well, around the 1890s, there was a period during when the Ottoman Empire was around. They also made some sort of discrimination towards the Prophet of Islam, and the leader of the time was Sultan Abdul Hamid II. So he sent a letter to them directly, and he first said to them that you need to stop this offense to our prophet, and he sent this to the French ambassador in 1890 as well. So I think this sort of discrimination has been happening for a very long time in French history.
Definitely. But what do you think about now?
I think it's still the same. There is media. There's a lot of aspects. I think there's a lot of higher powers involved that us, the public, we don't know, and that's the truth. I think there's a lot of things we do not know about, and yeah, it's like it's funny like how everyone is interested in like just France's feelings, but what about the 1.8 billion Muslims? What sort of feeling have they got? You know, you have to understand that this person, the Prophet, we love this man more than our own parents, you know? And for someone to discriminate someone's parents is a big disrespect. But to send for this person, it's like, for a believer, it's very understandable. Like, it's a very sensitive sort of thing to discriminate a person who we hold in the highest of regards, you know? So I don't think maybe, like, as you said, religious people will understand this, people of Islamic faith or background, because I'm not sure if many people have as much love to an individual, maybe their own parents. This is the best example we can use, really.
Okay.
And just following on from Bilal's point, I agree, but I also feel like whether you are, whether you are Islamic or not, if you follow a different religion, the other religious people still understand and appreciate another belief. So they wouldn't be disrespecting someone else's belief, regardless of a religion.
Okay. Adam,
Doctor.
yes?
Yeah, I do agree with that. Like, for example,
Wasim, yes.
Yeah, I just wanted to say that, in my opinion, it's a matter of ignorance throughout the history and time that causes all these terrorist attacks. And like, it just so happens to be that Islam is always the center, like is very centralized around these mainstream media when actual terrorist attacks happen. So Islam is portrayed as a very violent religion, and here's the problem: there is like all these terrorist attacks are like done by extremists, and these extremists don't even know the actual religion. Like they take the religion very literally, not figurative. Oh my god, I can't even talk. Figurative.
Yes.
Yeah, you get the
Figuratively,
point.
yeah.
Yeah, and yeah, so by them doing that, they just mask their ulterior motives by saying it's our religion, and even though it's not, it's like, and the mainstream media even twists it even more. So yeah, it's just basically a cycle of bias and hatred, which also has a snowball effect on the rest of the world, I guess.
Yeah, and also I'd like to add that Islam is like almost 1,500 years old now. So at the time when Islam was like began, they used to bury women because of the shame, and Islam stopped that. So they take stuff that was like needed in old times, and they continue to do it now. For example, in old times there was no prisons, there was no justice, so you had to take extreme measures to stop that. And now they don't, like, come on, there's 1.8 billion Muslims. We can assure you that there's like at least 10% of them not that smart. They're mentally challenged. Maybe they have some mental issues like psychopaths or anything, and it's possible. If we're not talk statistics, it's 100%. For example, if a Western guy, like the guy in Las Vegas, shoots people in a crowd, he's mentally ill, even though he was Christian. But if a Muslim guy does it, oh no, he's Muslim and ISIS, Qaeda, and everything else.
He's a terrorist, yeah. That's what I said, that there's like a mask, okay? And artificially put mask. That's what I think is happening. Yes.
Doctor, if I could speak as well,
Please, please.
So I'd just also like to add, like, I don't want to take it into too much of a political way, but I do believe that politics, economics, and all this stuff is highly involved. Like,
Definitely.
I did my essay on religion and violence, and so like I did sort of see that there was trends, as in religion was used as a tool, like to make a us versus them type of thing, like try to unite a community against another community. But that wasn't the main source that people, like, that wasn't the main idea. That was just to gain power. And so I do believe that when people do things in the name of religions, that their main goal or focus is not for the religion, but is for the power.
Ryan, thank you so much, because you just said a key word. There is a trend. There is. Do you guys see the trend? And
100%.
What trend do you see? What is the trend that is the most obvious to you?
Personally, the obvious trend is they just want to attack a country, take the resources, and make the country benefit in their own country, regardless of the country.
So artificially create a conflict to have a reason to attack. Yeah?
Yes, and that's like demonstrated in America when they wanted to fight against Cuba. They organized a terrorist attack, but they didn't go through with it because they realized it would be more fatal for them. Even they wanted to kill innocent people with Cuban citizenship that did not do anything. And that's actual facts, not the records are public now.
Okay. So hungry, power hungry. Yeah. Westerners. What else?
But
what other trends do you
there are
see?
people who are just insane. Like, it might not be political. He might be just a bad person. It occurs. Not all Muslims are good. Not Jews, Christians. Not everybody is good.
No.
So
I feel
he
like
did.
maybe some religions may be, feeling a little threatened because the reality is Islam is the fastest growing religion today, and it is being recorded to, be the most dominant religion. I know at the moment it's Christianity, but the way Islam is picking up and the way people are accepting it, it's at crazy rates at the moment.
Well, the world is growing at the crazy rate itself, and if you look at the trend, it is it's not the West, it's not the Western side of the world that is being, that's growing.
The
It's
UK has been, I think within 10 years, it's saying it's going to be the dominant religion in the UK.
yeah, probably also in France, I think.
Well, doctor, like
Mhm.
if we want to talk about ulterior motives, would you agree that some religions actually include political structures into them?
Of course.
Yeah, so it's like there is ulterior motives on both sides.
Mhm.
It does. Let's not like bring politics into this because even religion has political structures and political rules.
Can I
So
just
Guys,
was and forever
guys,
be religion rules?
we're going. I just want you to remember for 1 second what happened. Okay, who can tell me what happened in Paris?
I think nobody's talking about this because it's so obvious that both sides are wrong. We don't disagree.
But
We don't agree with
what happened in Paris? Like exactly what happened in Paris?
Are you talking about what happened to Paley specifically?
Yes.
He got
There was,
He
there was
characteristic. Sorry, carry on.
there was a lecturer on school, in he had a like critical thinking class, something like
It
that.
wasn't. It wasn't a critical thinking class. It was
Yeah,
actually a
and
class
it
of
was a
yeah.
freedom of
Anyway,
expression.
freedom of expression class. Yeah.
he showed to the young guys some pictures of Muhammad or something like that, and
Why? Why did he show it? Does
asked
anyone know
them
why he showed it?
what they think about it.
Perhaps to cause a reaction, to see how people react to it.
To strike up a conversation because this guy the way he used to conduct his classes was very creative. Okay, so because he was in school, he was a teacher to teenagers. It wasn't a university. Okay, so the way he would do the classes, sometimes he would get like paints and huge pieces of paper, and then he would divide, so like he
I
would
think
make them act out a war with paint. Okay, so he did a lot of expression. He was a lot about feelings. Okay, so he tried to get those things out of the students. So that's why he chose this picture to show to his class. Was he being disrespectful with the picture? Obviously, the picture itself is disrespectful, but was
he gave the Muslims children opportunity to go out.
Personally, I
okay?
think that he used his freedom of speech in the wrong way because, yes, he has the choice to show that and show it to the children, but then it doesn't mean that he was respecting another belief because that was
Okay, by
another
showing it.
by showing it and subliminally he's putting this information into children who don't believe in it. So whether
Definitely.
you
Mhm.
whether you
No,
agree or disagree to a religious belief doesn't mean that you should disrespect another belief.
Even though he wasn't thinking, he wasn't consciously disrespecting it, yeah? He was
Yeah.
just showing it, but it is still disrespectful, yeah?
But I believe like the situations that have happened before in France, even the history that I talked about, this should have been a clear lesson to people, you know? Like it is, you know, people do not accept this, and there have been, you know, an uproar about it. And like another factor is that I might be going a bit off topic, but like in France as well, there was another artist who drew the French president as a snake, but that was cancelled. However, the Charlie Hebdo, you know, drawings, they were not cancelled. So I feel like there's something more, there's something hidden, you know, with the French government, or I don't know what it is really, but yeah.
Okay.
Well,
Okay.
doctor, the materials.
Double standards.
Yeah, go ahead, Royan.
No, so just on, I think Bilal's point, I feel like there are double standards. So like you can, it's all right to use freedom of speech to, you know, disrespect one community group, but once you use it to disrespect another community of group, it seemed, you know, as, you know, not right really, and you get punished for it as well.
Okay, Wasim, you wanted to say something?
Yeah, I just wanted to say that what he showed, like what he showed is very portrays our prophet in a very wrongful way. It's very malicious, and it's not like, it's not right. It's very biased. So and him showing that like doesn't make any sense at all. Like the fact that he showed that to the children, not expecting any repercussions, that's so stupid, because like throughout time all over the world, the same exact situation, the same, like the almost the same terrorist attacks were happening. So like how didn't he expect what happened, you know? And like in some of the articles they were saying that he was in fear of his life because he was getting death threats. Yeah, of course he's gonna get death threats if he shows the prophet of 2 billion people, almost 2 billion people, in a very malicious way. Like it doesn't make any sense.
I just would like to add to that. I understand that he should have repercussions, but not to the extent of
No,
being
Vishal,
killed.
I don't agree with the repercussions, of course. I'm just saying like he should have expected them.
He should not be expecting to be beheaded. Come
No,
on,
I meant
Faustino.
hatred, not the actual action. No, of course.
Hatred, yes, but being beheaded, I don't think that anyone should be expecting.
No, of course not. That's not
to be
what I meant. That's not what I
killed.
meant.
That creates terror and that creates fear.
But the is that, like, say for instance, this beheading did not happen, and what would, like, how would the Muslim community feel like if no consequence, like nothing was taken forward about this? Because the truth and the reality is that he's offended a lot of people. You know, whatever was done to him was wrong. Like there could have been other ways done about it, but would something have happened? Like, would he have? You know, I accept that he's you know, doing his freedom of speech, but it's been done in a correct way. I think this law.
And that kind of creates a very that's a very complex problem, because, for example, if I was let's say that I was a parent of that school, and I was you know, I was feeling that for some reason, some of my beliefs or some of my religious views are being disrespected by the school. I would probably, not probably, I'd definitely go to the, you know, the administration of the school, and I would talk about it with the administration. I would make them understand that this is wrong, that, we are in a multicultural environment, and etc. Okay, so probably wasn't dealt with on the internal level, and that's why it got so out of hand. I don't know. A lot of things could have happened, but no accident happened for no reason. There's always somebody who is more at fault than the other, depending on the severity of the accident. Sometimes it's both parties. Sometimes one is more wrong than the other. This is not the case here because we clearly have a victim who has suffered a horrendous death. Okay, beheading somebody is.
Can I just add, and his son is now with no parents?
Yes.
And by the
Can I
way,
also add something?
in our religion.
Yes, Vishal, please say.
So you can correct me if I'm wrong. From some articles that I've read as well, President Macron, he's given one of the highest honors to Haiti. So in a way, it comes across that the actions that he did, which I hope most people can understand that it is wrong, but he still gets the highest badge of honor, which can try and promote what he's doing is actually good. And it will influence other teachers to think, okay, what he did was fine, and we could also get some type of an extrinsic reward out of it as well.
These things are being dealt with too loudly, in my opinion. Okay, obviously it does require a lot of attention because it was such a public killing, and I don't know. I don't have an opinion myself. I don't have like such a clear. I can't say that this is right or this is wrong or this is how it should be done or this is how it should not be done. But clearly something is going really, really wrong. Okay, and every single person is at blame. Yeah.
Keti?
We are, yes.
I wanted to make a point. The French government displayed a cartoon image on the government building just right after the attack. So, the actual images that were shown, they displayed that on a government building.
Wait, what images that were shown?
The cartoon images of the Prophet.
They displayed it on the.
Yeah. So this is the government's response.
This is the government's response, and the government decided to take a harsh response, saying that we will not tolerate violence from your side, something like that. Like, yeah. I don't.
Do you know what? Also, I want to mention.
Yeah.
I feel like the government of France, and like I feel like they have the same idea of Islam as these extremist groups such as ISIS, such as Al Qaeda. They both believe that Islam, it teaches to kill these people. However, they both kind of on the same. They both believe each other's ideas, except for the vast majority of Muslims. We believe that this is not what Islam teaches, but this is what is condoned. Like we're not allowed to do in Islam is to kill. Like there's clear verses in the Quran that tell you that if you kill an innocent human being, it shall be as if you have killed the whole of mankind. You know, that's a clear-cut verse in the Quran. So I just wanted to say that really. I feel like they're both on the same track, both like the extremist groups and the French government and other people who believe the same thing.
And just following on from Wayan's point, it's just a minority of the faith, but then it's portrayed as the whole majority of the faith.
Look, the thing is that I always say that the problems arise from ignorance, and ignorance is being used to manipulate. Yeah. So the more ignorant people are of a certain faith, the more mistakes they're going to make because they're not acquainted. They simply don't know what the religion preaches. Okay. And obviously, probably like. Not so many people have read the Quran. Not so many Muslims have read the Quran, I'm sure. Just the same way as not so many Christians are familiar. So, excuse me, with Bible. So,
bless you.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, by using public, by making decisions that are loud and appealing to ignorant masses, this is what strikes deep feelings, okay? Strong feelings. And in this case, we're having feelings of hate, disrespect in both sides, okay? So,
Doctor, just to echo Ryan's point, well, that's the problem. Like people like Islam extremists, or terrorist organizations like Al Qaeda and ISIS, take that verse of the Quran and take the word, specifically the word innocent, and twist it with their own negligence and their own ignorance, and make it justifiable, like as if the people who kill are not innocent because they're not, like, for many reasons. So they have, like, they put their own definition to the word innocent, even though it's in the Quran, and that's the result of ignorance, I guess. So yeah,
definitely.
I also want to add,
and discrimination. Yeah,
like I think a big factor which we didn't have hundreds of years ago is media, and I think this has conditioned society in a particular way, and the way, because like you said, some people are not educated on Islam, they don't know what the message it gives out, but when certain social media outlets get to a certain type of people who are not educated, it can influence them to have hatred towards Islam.
definitely. That's why I'm saying that that's like the strongest and the biggest mechanism, to have the masses to send them strong messages that are going to evoke strong and deep feelings, and those feelings are going to be activated from on both sides, because there's going to be, obviously, and we see the chain reaction. There have been killings on both sides now. The Muslims are being followed, and the same as the Christians are being followed. So they're going to these massive attacks are going to start, and this is crazy because. And what's making this worse is because it's happening during pandemic. Okay, so this coronavirus is not over. It's not nearly over. It's like it has spiked. It's crazy what's happening around the world. And plus you have you don't know what's going to happen. You don't know, they're imposing restrictions. Everything's going to get even worse. And now you have this.
I feel like it's the people with the people of the governments, people of higher power. I think those are the people who are succeeding. The people who are losing are the people, well, just the public society. I don't think
Well,
we're getting full information, you know.
well, the thing is that let's not get into this because every time there is a crisis, somebody benefits from the crisis. Okay, there's people who are already mobilized to benefit from the crisis. So first of all, we're completely out of time right now. But if you want, we can pick up from this next week. I think we should stop. Okay, and just I'm not going to give you anything else to read. So the only thing is you should, if you're interested, because this is obviously a topic of a great sensitivity to you. Just read up on what happened in Nice, read up on what happened in Vienna. Maybe by the time 1 week passes, more events are going to happen, and maybe you can come up with some kind of like a trend. Yeah, we can talk about that, or we can talk about something else next week. Yeah, but yeah, what is this? Yeah, okay, Ryan, thank you. I will open this link and I will definitely read it. Mm-hmm.
Katie.
Yes.
I think.
Oh my God, crazy.
Adam or Wasim said this last week, but you can tell from this conversation that it's kind of a little bit one-sided.
Yeah, that's what I said. And if you want next week's lecture, I can take the other side, even though I don't agree. But I can debate the other side. I really like this class. It's like amazing that my first class in this university was critical thinking and debating. So I'm down to take an opposite side.
Okay.
But we're gonna hate. So
look, I'm trying to be I'm trying to be really careful here because this is a very sensitive subject, obviously, and I don't want to. I could argue the opposite, but I'm not going to because, first of all, I am not in a position. Second of all, many of you, those of you who know me, you know that I'm not a religious person. So I want to be very careful here. So if somebody has a different opinion, yes, please, we can talk about it. But I don't think that it's a waste of time. Definitely not, because the thing is that another side is the media. I think that the media is the other side because the media it's always very, very strong on Western. The media is taking the Western side. So obviously, all the articles that we read, all the articles, all the interviews that we come up, that we stumble upon across, are going to be leaning towards, portraying Islam as villain. But it's not Islam as villain, it's the kid who committed a crime. Okay? The kid committed a crime. And
Katie, just following. Oh, sorry.
Yes.
No, I just wanted to mention when you mentioned about social media, and there is a trend that the minute you know that the person who did something wrong and they were either brown or Muslim, it's automatically proposed as a terrorist attack. Whereas when it's the other way around, it's always justified as either mental health or
definitely
some sort of scapegoat. And if you look at what happened in Las Vegas, there was a huge massacre. You barely see whether or not if it was a terrorist attack. There's even articles which question whether it was a terrorist-related attack. But I know for a fact if that was a Muslim guy, it would be a
It
terrorist.
would be a terrorist attack. I completely agree with you, Vishal. I couldn't agree more. And I have
And
a
it
lot
just
of problems.
pushes the motion of people, and especially children, the younger generation. The minute they hear terrorist, they automatically think terrorist equals Muslims.
Yes, yes, and it is a big problem. It is a big problem, and it is it is a very sensitive subject for you guys, and that's why it's so interesting to get your point of view as a big, strong group of educated adults. Okay, because
Yeah,
you know
but the problem is the most terror attacks. Yeah, it's because of people that were Muslims. It's not mean that everybody are terrorists, of course.
No.
But this is why I think most of the people think like you say right now.
I do agree. A lot of the media coverage is Muslim attacks, but they don't cover other attacks. For example,
Yeah,
the
for
China
sure.
or the Hong Kong attacks, or the Gaza Strip, or the Iraqi and Libya fights, or none of these. So it's what
funny.
media covers is mostly about Muslims, which is like, I don't know if it's coincidence or just for power.
It's funny. All these
not a
floods
coincidence.
are Muslims, I think. Yeah.
There's always some kind of when you're looking for trends. That's why I'm telling you, look for trends. Look for trends. There's always some kind of trend involved. Okay, under a certain, when there's something happening huge in the world, there's a lot of trend following it. Okay. So for some reason now there is a concentration, and it's been happening since 2000, since this
Since Saddam
Al
Hussein.
Qaeda, yeah, it started. So back then it was Al Qaeda, now it's ISIS. It's always going to be somebody, and it managed the situation managed to blow to such a huge proportion that now you have like a global hatred towards Muslims, and it's not right. Yeah, humanity, we're supposed to be evolving, we're supposed to be developing, and development means bettering yourself, growing, and we're not growing as a civilization right now. We are degrading. So with that, I'll leave you to think, and if you are willing to have a debate next week, because only Adam is not going to be sufficient, we need a couple of more Adams to kind of.
I think I can handle it.
Yeah. Okay. Fine. We can argue it from both. We can have like an argument from both perspective, and that's going to be super fun. I will then fine if I come up with some interesting article.
Debate on that, but they'll all
Yeah.
agree, I think, that not all the Muslims are terrorists.
Yes, we do agree that not majority. What I'm trying to say is that here, because the majority of this class is Muslim, the conversation is sort of like only one-sided, and because you guys want it to be more, colorful and entertaining, Adam is willing to take the other side. Okay, he wants to be the French government, so he will be the French government next week, and and if I come up with something interesting on the topic, I will send it out to you. Okay, guys, it's time to finish. 10 minutes ago, but anyway, it's